Hello there. We are going to paint a cozy cup of coffee today, and it's going to be fun and simple, starting with just tracing a circle, something you've got around the house. And around that circle, I am just going to draw in the rim of the coffee cup. We are doing this from the perspective of looking straight down on our coffee. So you can see I'm just trying to be a little bit careful, just trying to keep it the same width around the mug. And just drawing in the handle here. And actually, this took me a few times to do it. Even before what you're seeing here, I had to erase what I did because I don't know, it seemed crooked and just not right. So it's not difficult. It's just doing two straight lines at whatever width you'd like it to be, and then adding kind of a curved line at the top. But you can see I was on the struggle bus a little bit with this one, but got her done. You can see there, you can see the rim. And now we're just going to take some clean water and fill in the inner circle. You're going to leave the rim dry. Okay, we just want the water and the paint to be on the inner circle. So we're just going to distribute that evenly as possible around that circle, the inner circle. And I'm kind of just going around the perimeter. Is that no perimeter? Circumference of the circle. And now I'm just kind of like moving it so I can see it. I mean, maybe you can see it, but I have to like move it around so I can see where the water is. And I did miss a couple spots. So just touching that up to make sure it's wet throughout the circle. And coming in with some yellow ochre, which might seem like an odd color to start our coffee with, but you know those people who drink coffee that's this color. You know, all that creamer, and actually it kind of reminds me of caramel. But we're just going for a little base color here, a nice warm base color to start off with. And for this first coat, we're gonna do two coats. For this first coat, I'm gonna take it all throughout the circle. But you'll see here in a little bit, I've got it all in here on the right-hand side. And now after I do a couple touch-ups here, I'm kind of lifting some of this color out because it got a little dark for my liking. But I'm gonna dab my brush and just coming in with a damp brush and pulling some of that color around. So I didn't add any more color. You can see it's going to be a little bit lighter over here. But this first coat isn't super duper important. Because we're going to add another coat to it. But just filling that in so we don't have any white spaces showing. And I'm going around circumference again just to have a crisp edge, making sure the color reaches all the way out to the outer part. And keeping it as smooth as we can so then when we add the color of whatever color you choose for the rim of your cup, so that it just looks nice. Now, you can see the paper is pretty warped. I am using student grade watercolor paints on very cheap paper. So that's just what's going to happen, but it ends up being fine. It will be flat later, I promise. Just trust it. Trust the process. And now I'm just adding another just very quick layer of water in here and coming back in with some more yellow ochre. And you can choose, you don't even have to start with the yellow ochre, honestly. If you just want to start with brown and just layer that up, you do that. And I'm just doing a part of it. You can see I'm going to leave that left portion of the circle pretty light. And you'll see why in a little bit. Well, you already saw why if you saw the picture on my video. All right, now this is just a damp brush. I'm just softening up that line so it's not such a hard line. And that's completely dry now. And now we are going to come in with our brown. I've got a dark brown. I'm using burnt umber, but you can bring in whatever brown you've got. And again, we're going to do 3 layers of this. And I'm just kind of doing a wavy line. You can do it as you wish. But I'll go ahead and show you. I took a picture of my coffee this morning after I poured it, so you can see I didn't go from this, I didn't use it as a reference completely because you can see the shape of my dark coffee and where the bubbles are is not the same, but I just want to show you in case you're not a person who drinks black coffee and you're like, why are you putting all those bubbles in? Well, this is why. All right, I did 3 coats of the brown and letting it completely dry in between each coat. And that's dry. And so that's dry. You don't have to wait for that to dry, but I did because I'm right-handed and I don't want my hand to, you know, get into the wet paint. So now I'm just going to paint in some random circles with the same dark brown. And I've got my brush pretty loaded up with the paint. So I only end up doing 1 coat on the bubbles because they're pretty dark to start with. And you can just see I'm doing lots of different sizes. And see how those are in a line like that? I was like, oh yeah, I don't like the line. I don't want it to look planned. I want it to look like random little bubbles. And so just add a bigger size and add some littler ones in there and you just play with it. And I'm just going to speed it up because this is the part that it didn't take that long, but you definitely don't need to watch me do this real time because yours are just going to be random. I didn't think about it. I just started putting circles in and kind of stopped for a second, looked at it and went, oh, we need some there, we need some there, different sizes. But yeah, back to the cheap paper. It was a $5 pad of watercolor paper that I got at Hobby Lobby. It was on sale. It's normally 7. No, wait, it was $3 because it's normally $4.99. Anyway, you can see it's working just fine. Does it warp? Yes. But when we're just practicing, it's fine. If you're going to start selling your artwork, you're going to want to upgrade. But we're just playing and it's perfect for that. Obviously, I am painting in the handle of my mug now. I chose this beautiful shade of kind of turquoise blue. I just mixed some blues and greens together until I got the color that I wanted. And now going in with undoing the rim, painting in the rim. And so far I've been using a size 10 brush for this entire project. You'll see in a little bit. I'm going to change that because I'm going around the rim here and I got a little bit in the coffee. So I thought, oh, I'll just smudge it out with my finger. No big deal. And then I'm like, nah, I got it on the paper. But I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. But I kept going and I got more in the coffee. So I just dabbed it with my paper towel and still didn't learn my lesson. So I continued with my size 10 brush until I thought, you know what? This is for the birds. I am just going to switch to a smaller brush. So I switched to my size 4, and that made it a lot easier. But you know what will make your life a lot easier? Just make the rim of your mug wider than I made mine. And then you won't have to worry about being so precise here. But it's all good. Yeah, but switching to the number 4 was great. It really helped a lot. But I'll go ahead and speed this up. I end up doing just going around this, and then you'll see I'll add a second coat to both the handle and the rim. You can leave 1 coat, just depending what your preference is in color. I wanted it to look a little richer, so I thought I'm going to just add 1 more coat. And you can see the difference that makes. Everything's completely dry, by the way. When we're trying to darken things up, you need to let each layer dry completely. But I really like the richness of that second coat offers. Love this color, love it. All right, and now just doing the same so the rim matches, and so it pops a little bit more too, because it's kind of hard to see the light rim around that. I just want it to be a little bit richer. Just comes down to personal preference. But I'm going to speed this one up too because I'm just going to go around like I did the first time until I like what it looks like. And I do like it after 2 coats, so we're just going to leave it at that. And there you have it. Isn't that nice? I had a little bit of a spot there on the handle that was just needed a little touch up, so took care of that very easily. Yeah, and I thought this looks a little bit plain, so I wanted to add, oh, I forgot. I'm going to add some highlights here in the bubbles and around the cup as well. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing a little curved, like a little smiley smiley mouth on one side of the bubbles. You're going to want to keep it all on the same side. So if you can see I'm kind of going on the, what I guess what would be the bottom of the bubbles in this video, and just do that throughout, especially in the big ones. Now, all those little baby ones, you don't have to do a mark in all of those. I did in some of them. I just put a little dot because some of them are so small, there's no room to put a little smiley. So speeding that up and just taking a look at it till you like what it looks like. And I added a little bit here in the dark brown part of the coffee as well. And you could add several in there, honestly, but I thought that looked fine right like that. And then I decided to add a little bit of a reflection on the handle as well, and then around the rim and around the rim of the mug as well. Just kind of where you think the light might be hitting, and it just adds some interest, adds a little depth. Yeah, it's a sweet little cuppa. Ooh, sweet little cuppa. And there's a way to do this too, where you can make it look like not such a full cup. Obviously, this is a very full cup of coffee. Okay, so I'm adding splatter. I grabbed this bowl that my BFF got me in, I want to say Malawi, somewhere in Africa. And I want to add splatter, but I don't want it to go in my mug. So I grabbed my BFF bowl and I'm grabbing a sticky note, little post-it note, which just kind of perfectly covered that little handle. And voila, we are ready for some splatter. If you want your splatter to go in your coffee, you do that. I've got my brush pretty loaded with water and color here. And I could have just left it right like that, a nice little simple splatter at the top, but no, I wanted all the splatters, all of them. And so you just tap, tap, tap your brush until you are satisfied with your splatters. And I use the same color as my mug. You can use a complementary color. You can use multiple colors. I've seen people do it like the color of the coffee, but that stressed me out because it felt like hot coffee splashing everywhere and that didn't give me peace. All right, remove the bowl. Honestly, please don't do what I'm doing. I'm removing the bowl and the paper while the splatters are wet, and that is not advised because the likelihood of smudging the splatters is very high. I've done it. But here's the deal. I have a full-time job, and I'm usually in a hurry while I'm doing these because this is really what I want to be doing. I want to be doing painting all the time, but at this point in my life, I'm just fitting it in so I can, just have some creative time and hopefully share some valuable content with you guys. But isn't she sweet? It's pretty simple, you guys. It's drawing a circle, coloring it in, drawing a bunch of little circles. And yeah, I think you can do this. I know you can do it. I think you'll have fun doing it. I know you can do it, and I think you'll have fun. How's that? And now I'm signing it while the splatters are wet. Also not advised, but I got to get to work. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you give it a try, let me know. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. See you in the next video, hopefully.